Big Chongus!
Alright, you guys are good. Good luck. Alright. Hello everybody. It's Sonic 3 and what's the other guy? Supersonic, who's the other guy?
Some red guy named Knuckles, but well, he's not really being played as, so I guess the red man, or no, orange boy, Tails, yeah, that's it.
Right, oh yeah, he's on the screen, everything. Okay, thank you. Alright, so, yeah, Sonic 3 and Orange Boy, doing this. Actually, we're going to be playing as the Orange Boy today. We're going to be playing as Tails, we're collecting all of the emeralds, and we're playing as little of each stage as possible. I am TheSoundDefense, and this is my commentator, Supersonic.
Hello everybody, hope you all are doing well on this fine weekend.
I'm doing pretty well, at least better than yesterday. Here's a pro tip,
Yeah.
Never do a day one Destiny raid unless you absolutely know what you're doing. That's just a tip from me to you. Alright, so anything we need to cover before we get started, or should we just go into it?
Let's just go into it and we'll explain on the way.
Let me just say one donation that I just received.
Go for it.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Alright, we have a $22 donation from TheSoundDefense saying 1609. Much love, Saxon. Thank you so much, Andre. Alright, you're all good.
Alright, well then we're going in. I'm controlling the timer. We go when I say we go. Alright,
Yep.
go. Alright, so Tails thankfully has no opening cutscenes. We can just get into this right away. So I'm going to play 9 seconds of this level before we get into the first special stage. Okay, so special stages, they are not exactly how you think they are. They're a little bit broken, they're a little bit exploitable. In particular, there is a glitch that we unimaginatively call the blue sphere glitch, which allows us to pick up blue spheres that we are not supposed to pick up by exploiting a bug in the game's code. And you saw one example of it earlier, but I didn't point it out, so you're going to see another example of it here. I am going to pick up these spheres in a non-standard way, and they're all going to turn to rings for no reason. And that's the first emerald down.
And I would suggest everyone, if you guys haven't seen an all emeralds run of this game before, you gotta check this out, because Sound Defense does some pretty crazy strats in the special stages that are pretty, like, insane and mind-blowing, so... I mean, I don't really know much about it, but I know how to do the glitches in the game, so... Which the special stages are a whole another enchilada.
Yeah, a lot of thanks for the special stages goes to a fellow named JoeyBaby69, who thoroughly studied a glitch that was discovered by, I don't remember actually, I think it was Mike89, also known as Sega Junkie. Then he studied that, and he figured out how to exploit it, and then he figured out all of the ridiculous special stage routes that you're going to be seeing in this run. So, big shout outs to JoeyBaby69 for making this possible. Am I going to get a sub? It looks like I am going to get a sub 1 here, which means little, but it's a pride thing.
Very good, Angel Island 1.
I've got
Oh, no, go.
I'm just saying, I've got all of this muscle memory built into doing certain things with Live Split that I'm currently not doing. Normally, this game is not timed RTA. It's timed RTA minus TB, which means we pause the timer when a time bonus is counting down. But I do not have that currently activated, so we're just going to see the RTA. So, here's another thing about special stages. You see these big, like, sections of red spheres? They're supposed to act as walls, but they're really not walls. They can't actually stop us. And so we can just sort of go through them and go wherever we want to go, within reason. But yeah, once you start jumping over red spheres, the world is sort of your oyster. I am I do not know why I'm talking while I'm doing this. I'm out of my mind.
Well, I guess, you know, it's safe to say that we didn't really know about this stuff when we were kids playing this game, so just to find out that the red spheres have really tiny hitboxes, this makes a lot of things easier to make the special stage a lot more optimal.
Absolutely. The enter key is not working here for this split. Okay, whatever, it's fine. Everything's fine. Yeah, I think all of us had that moment in a special stage where we found ourselves running into red spheres and we start like panic jumping, trying to see like hope against hope that we somehow managed to make it out.
Oh yeah, plenty of times.
For sure. Turns out that's like an actual strat that you can do.
Okay, good to see a slightly different route with Tails since he can fly for a short amount of time. Let's see him do a little bit of a damage boost there just to get rid of the bubble shield. Doesn't really need it at this point.
Oh wow.
And almost got the swag jump.
I just dropped like a rock into the water. I never see that. Okay, now is where I really have to...
That's never happened before.
I mean, it might have ever happened before and I just can't remember. But, I don't know. In any case, I really need to not talk during this stage, so please, if you would be so kind.
Alright, so we are in the orange cream soda special stage, and we're gonna see some pretty crazy movement very shortly here. As you can see, he is still utilizing the boost spear glitch, and then we're gonna see him do a bump into the bumper to pretty much run backwards now.
Okay, we're good. We're out.
I know I should be. I was gonna say something, but I'm like, no, I gotta be quiet so you can focus on this.
I appreciate that. I didn't want to say stop talking, but that is when it would be.
Yeah. But as you can see, like, even from moving backwards, you can't really tell which way you're going because there is hardly any space to see from behind. So it's just a lot of memorization of where the boost spheres are, and especially like dealing with the movement as well, moving backwards.
Yeah, the turning is really strange when you're moving backwards. It's not like go this direction, it's make Sonic face this direction. So, like left will turn, hitting right will turn you left, and hitting left will turn you right. And if you ever ask me in the middle of a special stage how to turn, I will lose. I'm not allowed to think about it.
Yeah, also I think you meant Tails, not Sonic.
Yeah, sorry, yeah. I mean Tails.
I mean, we can technically treat him as Sonic as well.
I'm not used to saying Tails' name without yelling it in anger.
That is true. A lot of us don't really like Tails that much. In this case, we're playing as Orange.
Also,
We gotta like him at least.
I took damage on purpose. Uh-oh. Oh, this is really bad. Oh, no. I talked at exactly the wrong time. Well, we get to see that wonderful cutscene again, and I think now the pressure to get a PB is off, so it's good to have that out of the way quickly, I guess.
Yeah, that was a little unfortunate. So, he tried to time and jump there to land on Robotnik, and he can actually avoid the arm cannon shooting fireballs. But yeah, fortunately, it didn't quite pan out that way, but we'll get another chance at it though.
Yeah, this is why I need a commentator, because I talk in periods where I have to really carefully time things, and then it's just like, what happened to me? Where did I go? Alright, here. That is what was supposed to happen.
There we go. With the 8 quick hits, and then using Tails' flight to grab the capsule as soon as possible. And we're done with Angel Island.
So earlier, on my first attempt at this, you saw me intentionally take damage, which is a strat that matters for RTA minus TB. Not so... Well, I guess it matters too for RTA as well. Just, I'm trying to reduce my ring bonus, so we spend less time on the score screen.
Yeah, that is actually a pretty good strat to do. Just pretty much managed to have as minimal like bonuses as possible, like for rings. Mainly because like the time bonus will pretty much vary depending on how fast you finish an act. And as we can see here, he's going up on the ceiling and grabbing the invincibility. So this should be a really easy boss fight against the washing machine.
Yeah, this boss fight, as with other boss fights with Tails, is kind of terrible normally. So the invincibility is a godsend. Oh, we got the music glitch too. If the invincibility turns off in the middle of that score countdown screen while the one audio thing is playing, it sort of cancels out the level end audio and goes back to the actual level song, which is really weird.
Alright, so now we're seeing that he's taking intentional death here. That is to unload Act 1 from Act 2 so he can perform a level route. So he's going to flip into the ground and start zipping all the way to the boss area. So the reason why we end up taking a death there is because if we didn't do that, then we would end up soft locking. Yeah. Now we're already at the boss fight.
Alright, got 3 hits, gotta stand in the right spots. And I'm invincible.
Very nice fight there.
Oops. Not a good capsule hit though.
And just like that, Hydro is done.
That clip that we just saw is one of a few instances where a trick is much easier as Tails than it is as Sonic. Like, as Sonic, you have to maneuver yourself pretty carefully to get into the wall. With Tails, it's rare to not get it if you have the right setup. Just a lot easier when you can fly to put yourself in the right position.
Yeah, definitely. And here we are in Marble Garden. This will be slightly different. We will be collecting 2 emeralds here. So here is emerald number 4, aka the Coca-Cola stage.
Normally, what was I going? I have already forgot one. Oh yeah. Normally as Sonic, you would be skipping almost all of Marble Garden with a trick, but that trick actually doesn't work at all with Tails because he is too short. He's too short to skip Marble Garden, and the trick fails immediately when you try it. So we have to use a different trick, and we actually see the second half of Marble Garden. Don't worry, we have other tricks. They're still interesting.
Like this one right here. So he ended up grabbing all those blue spheres in just like one part of the quadrant. It just clears out the entire board.
That is the best application of the blue sphere glitch right there.
And it is absolutely glorious. A huge time saver as well.
And that works with Sonic as well. And it also works going forward. You don't have to go backwards, but you save a little bit of time by turning less if you go backwards. Also, I kind of just jumped on a red sphere. It's fine, don't worry about it.
Yeah, so apparently when you jump on the red sphere, it doesn't quite activate the hitbox right away, so he's able to manipulate like the turning for Tails, and it doesn't treat it as if it's an incomplete level. So pretty interesting stuff with these special stages here.
You have to set the initial jump up correctly, but once you do, it's actually kind of automatic if you buffer your inputs correctly. And that was purely for swag. I actually lost time doing that, but it was worth it.
Hey, you gotta do it for the fans, you know?
Someone in chat is saying the blue sphere glitch was patched in Sonic 3 AIR, which is true, but at least for a period of time they had an entirely different blue sphere glitch, and they still might. I haven't checked up on it in a little while. Ooh, I didn't get subpixeled. Oh, that was really nice, actually.
Alright, now we're gonna see the instance of a screen wrap. Since Marble Garden is an infinitely vertical level, we're able to kind of traverse into different areas of the game, and as well as like object phase through a lot of things like the springs and monitors and so on and so forth. so he was able to pretty much go inside the wall, like clipping into a spring. And into the boss fight he goes.
I'm gonna position myself here.
Very good call on that damage there.
Yeah, that damage boost lets me get those last 2 hits a lot more easily. And now, Marble Garden 2, enjoy it while it lasts, because it's not going to last long. So then we have...
And yeah, we're going to see a different variation of the boss, too.
We are, and that is where I really have to pay attention to what I'm doing. That is not an easy boss fight to pull off in 2 cycles. But for now, we get to take the fast route.
Yeah, getting the level rep heading into Knuckles' boss area, which is completely different to what we see with Sonic and Tails normally.
Alright, now I gotta focus to get these hits in. Intentional damage boosts to try and get these extra hits here. The timing on this is really tight. But it looks like I got it.
Yeah, that was a really good fight right there.
Yeah, 2 cycles is the best you can do. And once again, the timing on those first 2 Robotnik hits each cycle is really, really tight. I am using both audio and visual cues to make sure I get those done right. 'Cause if I miss one, then I basically have no rings and I have to play it by ear, and it's very scary. Especially because, like, the hitbox for that boss does not work the same way as Tails as it does as Knuckles.
Alright, here we go. Carnival Night, or Afro Circus, whatever you want to call it. And here we're going to be initiating a wheel glitch, and we're going to be going straight to the boss fight. And then Tails is going to be walking sideways momentarily.
Yeah, the wheel glitch gives you the properties of that giant spinning wheel, which is that it increases your gravity enormously and it changes your gravity to be whatever surface you're currently standing on. So we can abuse the heck out of that, and I'll be holding on to it all through Carnival Night 2 as well. I think this is good. There is a small chance that you roll off at the wrong time and the boss just kills you, but I'm pretty sure we're good here. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay.
Oh, that was a close call.
That was scary. That's not something I expected. So, that saw, it bounces off the edges of the camera, and so by changing my position, I can manipulate where the saw goes, but I can also wrongly manipulate where the saw goes and make things much scarier for myself. Now for this.
Okay, so now in this act, he's going to clip inside the ceiling here.
And I'm going to soft lock. Incredible.
Oh no.
Alright, well now, that was the worst thing that could have happened. I have to do all this again.
Oh, that's pretty unfortunate.
This is why my estimate was 10 minutes above my personal best. Because when disaster strikes, it absolutely strikes.
Yeah, and this game is pretty synonymous for being one of the most difficult games to run in a marathon setting, but I honestly think you're handling it very well, though.
Alright, thank you. Couldn't I get out of it by rolling? Maybe it's too late to do that now. In any case, if I did, I would have had to do the level normally, and that might still be slower than doing it this way. Oh, but I just realized something I will talk about in a minute once I fight this boss. Basically, the strat I use for this stage sort of depends on the memory being laid out in a certain way, and because I reset the game and went back here from the main menu, the memory is not laid out that way anymore, so I am not going to get the boss fight I wanted to get.
That's right.
Yes. So like it never would have worked out the same way because this is all emeralds, but it's gonna work out even less the way I want it to now that I reset. So let's focus here real quick. I get this. Okay, that's how the trick was supposed to go. So normally when I did this trick, I would get stopped in the ceiling, I would head down into a tunnel, and I would be able to shoot myself right up to the boss. But now, I am going to get hit by a bat. It is guaranteed that I will get hit by a bat. And I sort of... Okay, so... we're learning things in real time here. So I am not redoing Carnival Night 1 a third time.
Yeah, that's a good call.
So that is something that I had forgotten about because at this point in a real run I would have just reset the whole thing. But you can be going too fast and bypass the bat and just fall all the way to your death, and that's what happened. So now I have to actually play this stage.
Oh, we get to see Knuckles at least.
Who?
Oh, this guy, the red man.
He's Knuckles? Okay. Oh, this is the guy from the Chuckle song, I think?
Yes, that's the one.
Oh, that makes so much sense now.
He chuckles, he flexes his muscle, you know.
Right, okay. Man, I was joking with, I think, Indus in the Discord about how this might actually be a glitchless run if I fail the glitches. And that is, in fact, what has happened. I am now doing Carnival Night 2 glitchless. And once again, thank goodness for high estimates. Yeah, what normally would happen here is I would go through the ceiling, I would get stopped, I would enter the tunnel below with a sideways wheel glitch. And then I would basically run up the tube to the Robotnik boss fight and destroy him from above. The backup strat after resetting is I fall down, I get hit by a bat, I go see Knuckles, and I fight the boss normally. But I failed even the backup strat, and now we're just playing this game.
Well, I guess in this case we're going to be seeing the treacherous Barrel of Doom here.
That's right, we are. I have not seen this Barrel of Doom in a while. Yeah, every time I do this Barrel of Doom, there is somebody in my chat who is saying, you know, when I was a kid...
Yep, that's exactly how it starts.
I mean, like, yeah, we were all in that position, I promise you.
I had absolutely no idea what to do with that barrel, and then all of a sudden, like, sometime later, we figure it out, and then we just feel dumb about it.
Yeah, type 1 in chat if you timed over at the Barrel of Doom. We'll see some ones in a minute. Thank you, Supersonic, for the 1.
Yep, I can admit that.
This boss is the worst as Tails. I hate it. Everyone hates it. Because you cannot easily hit this guy without taking damage. So yeah, that's what a good boss fight looks like. It still doesn't look that good. Finally, we are out of Carnival Night 2. And I have lost approximately 6 minutes. But that's okay. That's what estimates are for. That's what high estimates are for, I should say.
And incoming ice cap, and as we can see, there's no snowboarding with Tails. We just immediately just drop down from who knows where. And now we're just gonna head over to our next 2 emeralds, for at least in the chaos side.
This apparently, according to Jujumoy, this was a terrible stage to route because it is so open and there are so many options. So he went through a lot of possible routes before coming up with this one, which takes advantage of the blue sphere glitch in a nice fun way. And it doesn't require much precise timing, so as long as I pay attention to where I'm going, it's pretty chill. Speaking of chill, this color palette, though.
Yeah, it is very blue and icy, I guess. I mean, we are an ice cap after all.
Yeah.
But, yeah, like when I was a kid, like I thought the color palette was like, I'm sure like some of us may remember this drink, and it did kind of made a comeback for a little bit. Crystal Pepsi.
I never had a Crystal Pepsi, but people speak of it fondly.
I mean, I never had it either, but I remember hearing about it, and that's what the color scheme reminds me of.
Can I throw in a quick donation?
Go for it, yes.
Yes.
Alright. We have a $20 donation from Cresum. Hello all. I've been watching Zaxxon since he was doing no commentary sub-hour WR attempts in Sonic Mania. So I've got a pitch in to help out. Good luck with the rest of the marathon. Smile. Thank you so much, Cresum.
Thank you, Carlo.
Thank you.
If you have any more, I don't want to talk during this stage anyway.
Not at the moment, but I guess, for the sake of the raid we had just earlier, yeah, so this is FAST4ZAX, raising funds to help Zaxxon's financial situation. Recently got himself into a car crash, which this pretty much prevented his car from up and running. So the process of getting his car fixed is currently what he's going through right now. So the funds is helping him get back on his feet, so he can also get on top of bills and taxes and all that. So this marathon is definitely helping out. Much appreciated, guys. And also, just because we're in the tail end of this marathon here, we have only 3 games to go. Before the final run, which is Toe Jam and Earl, coming up after Animus United's Sonic Spinball run, we're gonna have a raffle to determine who will win an emo from Pop Loops. Every $10 donated will add you onto a raffle, a maximum of 5 raffles. So a maximum of $50 donation will give you the maximum amount of chances to do emo. We'll have a wheel raffle, just after Animus's Sonic Spinball run. So yeah, if you're considering that, then you know what to do. I'll post the emotes. I've commissioned her in the past. Yeah, thank you guys.
Alright, thank you very much, Joey. And during the raffle talk, I skipped all of Ice Cap. There we go.
Dang, I blinked and I missed it.
Yeah, so I would talk about it, but now I have to break Launch Base 2.
Yeah, Launch Base 2 is Launch Base 1, I guess, is a little different with Tails compared to Sonic. In this case, we're going to be taking a hit from this flybot here to clip inside the spikes and the wall, and then we initiate a level wrap in order to get to Knuckles' boss fight area. But in this case, since Tails has the ability to fly, we're going to pretty much lure the bosses up into the upper area here.
We're fighting on my turf now. Also, positioning that flybot correctly is so much more particular than it looks. Alright, now I gotta focus and count real quick. Gotta hit 11 hits. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And now we're not done yet. Thankfully, though... Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no. Oh wow.
Oh.
I spin dashed in the wrong direction.
Is this fine?
No, this is not fine.
Oh no!
This is more disastrous than I could have imagined. So now I have to do this stage too. I was supposed to do this stage in 0 seconds. Now it's not going to take 0 seconds. Somehow I'm not going to make the incredibly generous estimate I gave for myself. Wow, I feel like Mr. Bean right now. So yeah, this is a demonstration of what we were mentioning earlier, just how punishing this speedrun is. One bad input, and you've lost 2 to 3 minutes off of the run.
Yeah, Yeah, the Sonic 3 half of this game can be quite deadly, or lack of a better term, I guess. So what he wanted to do there is, like, when he wanted to spin dash on the other side, that'll pretty much keep Tails in the right position to get the last hit of the second ball that he left alive for a moment. And that would pretty much trigger the time bonus countdown for Act 2, and it will actually make it as a completion on the file select screen as well. But since that didn't happen, then he just fell right through, so now he has to play through all of Launch Phase 2. But thankfully, the one good thing about that is he doesn't have to face Big Arm, so...
Nope, I just deal with the boss nobody knows the name of.
Yeah, it's some name, I guess.
It has a name, that much we know. Alright, well, here we are. The Pit of Shame. Eggman is here to mock... No, Robotnik is here to mock me. Excuse me. Pardon my language.
I just noticed there are actually, like, cannons on the apparatus that he's on. But they never shoot.
What's the point, then?
I guess just for show, maybe?
Alright, so... we now have this long cutscene. Supersonic, how's your day, Ben?
It's been going pretty well. Managed to do some cleaning around the house and whatnot. And then, of course, having the stream open, like, the entire time. Also, Knuckles, the red man. Oh no. Fell in the water.
Goodbye.
How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. I was doing better before Carnival Night. Still a pretty good day. Went in, saw my nephew for a few hours, came back, ate some lunch. Got my stream working. Yeah, Zax, and I do appreciate that. At the very least, I do know how to do these levels glitchless in a reasonable amount of speed, thanks to the Sonic 3 tournament that was held a little while ago. This only applies to Sonic 3. If I have to do Sonic and Knuckles glitchless, we're in serious trouble.
Shoutouts to the Zaxxon and Friends tournaments.
Zaxxon and Friends tournament saving this, quote-unquote, saving this run. I am going to cut this cutscene short, though.
Yep, we don't have to watch the thing blow up and kind of, you know, falling down. It's gonna go straight into Mushroom Hill, and thus entering the Sonic and Knuckles half of the game.
So now we've got 7 more special stages to go, and I'm going to start with the hardest one in the game. Now this is the only stage where I'm actually going to do a marathon safe strat instead of my usual strat. My usual strat, even for me, is too difficult for a marathon. It requires doing 3 jumps, and I can miss a total of 3 frames during those 3 jumps, which is just way too precise for marathon. So we're gonna go with the marathon safe strat, which is still kind of ludicrous, but it's much less likely to end in tears. But I still am gonna focus for this.
Totally understandable. And here we are into the and Knuckles half of the special stages with probably the most ugliest color palettes imaginable. We will be seeing a much more uglier palette very soon, but yes, we're gonna see a lot more backward movement here, utilizing the boost sphere glitch to clear out a lot of the boost spheres. I'll let it focus here for a moment.
Oh my god.
That was close.
3. Oh my god, that was terrifying.
Oof. Yeah, I was kind of at the edge of my seat there.
And I will remind you, that is the marathon safe strat.
I can only imagine how the actual strat is.
It's not marathon safe, I'll tell you that.
Oh yeah.
It's one of those things I get like 2/3 of the time on a good day and 0% of the time on a bad day.
Alright, as we noticed there, the emeralds do light up after finishing a special stage in the Knuckles half. So So ideally, you want to pretty much take care of the sides first, and then finish off with the middle emerald at the end. So that way it doesn't have the camera panning direct, you know, if you're on the right side or the left side, panning towards the center, so it's going to save some time there.
I tried to be a cool guy and bounce off those shoes, but I hit my head, so I'm not cool anymore. Well, I mean, I'm Tails, so I was never cool, but you know what I mean.
Oh yeah, I mean, Orange Boy tried.
Like, that's the story of his life. He tries, but then it just makes everything worse. So this is a fun emerald strat because it looks really cool, but it's not particularly difficult. To do these fun turns on these yellow spheres. Some more. Okay.
Ooh.
Maybe I'll just stop talking forever.
No, you're fine. Yeah, I might as well like have you focus on these because these strats are not easy to do. Like, even like casually, the special stages can be somewhat difficult. But in a speedrunning setting, like especially when you're trying to utilize the glitch and you know backwards movement and such, it does take a lot of like concentration. So I figured, you know, why not just, you know, you guys are seeing what's going on, and you know, just kind of keep it quiet there just to give them some focus.
So the next special stage, thankfully, does not require much focus, unless you want to, like, not gag at the color palette. That will take some work.
Yeah. Oh dear. So heading towards the third special stage coming up.
And over and ta-da!
Introducing the most disgusting color palette known to man. I don't know what the heck the devs were thinking coming up with this kind of color palette, but it is absolutely atrocious. I can't even look at it.
It's like Barney and vomit mixed together.
That's pretty much the way to put it.
It's the worst shade of green. It really is.
Anyway, we're pretty much almost done with this game.
The only little bit of swag is right there at the end. It's very 80s, Cygnus Test, which you're not wrong.
Yeah, I guess so. This is pretty much 80s style. I can attest to that.
My smartwatch is telling me to move. I'm moving as fast as I can. Are you not watching?
Man, smartwatch is just trying to, you know, make you go underestimate, I guess.
I mean, I am trying. I don't need this smartwatch shaming me. Oh god, it's getting worse. Alright, so I missed the cool swag
Smartwatch
jump.
trying to be smart.
Missed the cool swag jump, but it only loses a couple seconds, so it's okay. Now for one of my favorite special stages. This is the shortest one of all of them.
Yeah, this special stage is pretty straightforward. Even from a casual standpoint as well. And we even see this in the demo too. Like, they were really trying to promote this special stage. Saying, oh hey, this is a very nice special stage, check it out.
I mean, they weren't wrong. It is a nice special stage.
Very nice, very short, very simple.
And there you go. And we're done before the music speeds up. Alright, I am 8.5 minutes. Oh my god, I'm 8.5 minutes above my PB at this point. Thankfully, my estimate is just about 11 minutes above my PB, so I'm still on track to the underestimate, but now I really need Lava Reef to cooperate with me.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh, I actually didn't expect that to work, so I jumped.
Yeah, that looked a little sketchy there, but thankfully the dragonfly was in a good spot.
Get a couple extra hits there. Alright, that was actually a pretty nice fight. It was only recently that I figured out I could actually get some extra hits at the start as Tails, just by positioning myself in the right place.
All right, heading into Mushroom Hill Act 2, we have 3 more special stages to grab. I think there are 4 big rings in this act.
Yeah, so I have a backup in case things go wrong. Which, at this point, they probably will. That's just sort of how the run's been going.
And it's pretty much the game, too.
Yeah, thankfully the remaining special stages are not too bad. All the hardest ones are out of the way at this point. This next one I think is the trickiest one remaining. But even that's not too bad. I don't know, take that with a grain of salt. There is one jump here that's pretty horrible because the music speeds up as soon as I'm about to make the jump, which is just the worst time for that.
I gotta say though, the devs have a thing for the color purple.
They really do.
Yeah, it's like another special stage that we see kind of like a purplish, violetish color.
So yeah, I'm gonna wait to talk. Just
Yeah,
until
that's fine.
Okay, so the first 7 special stages, the original special stages, they all have color palettes that roughly correspond to the original first 7 stages of the game, which is the Sonic 3 half and also Flying Battery. And you can sort of see that number 6 looks like Ice Cap, number 7 looks like Launch Base, number 4 looks like Carnival Night. But then they had to make 7 more, and then the color palettes don't work out so nicely.
Yeah, they were like, oh, you know what, let's just slap on some random colors on there, just kind of make it look aesthetically pleasing, or displeasing, it's depending on how you look at it.
Yeah, if they were going for aesthetically pleasing, they did not get there. Actually, this one isn't. This is actually looks like the Sonic and Tails stage. I'm just now realizing.
Yeah, with the dash of Knuckles.
Yeah, that's true. It's our 3 heroes. It's also worth noting that there are no yellow spheres in the original 7 stages. This was an addition for Sonic and Knuckles.
Yep, that's correct, and they pretty much give you, as you can see, they give you the ability to just bounce to another direction, or like another quadrant of the special stage.
In Sonic Mania, they added even more custom spheres.
Oh yeah, they went pretty ham on that one.
Alright, 1 second.
Yeah, look at that.
Okay,
Very nice.
I took that a little unsafely, but we're done here. Now just 1 more to go, and thankfully it's not bad. And then, I would like to say the hard stuff is over, but it's really not. It's never over, honestly.
Alright, 6 emeralds down, we got 1 more to go.
That was embarrassing, that jump right there. Nobody saw that.
Nope, totally didn't see anything.
Alright, in my defense, I am dehydrated. Everyone hydrate.
Stay hydrated, folks.
Right, and here is the last emerald. If I screw this up, I'm in trouble. Actually, I'm not in that much trouble. But I'm still not going to screw it up. This is one of those stages where if I'm playing this game casually, I will get just super lost in here.
Oh yeah, like, it seems like you can pretty much go anywhere and somehow get lost really easily in this section.
Yeah, the speed
Even when I was learning this category, like when I was learning this category, like a few years ago as Sonic, like, playing this special stage was always a nightmare, even though it's considered like one of the easier ones.
Yeah, it is. Like, it's easy at least until you've hit max speed and you still don't know where you're going.
That too.
Yeah, there's not much danger in that one, but it's just, it's one of those where you get lost. There's several others like that. Chaos Emerald 7 is terrible for me. I always get lost in there. Anyway, finally, Tails can transform. he's too short to transform with only 7 emeralds, but with 14, it works, thankfully.
Yep, and as you can see here with Super Tails, we have 4 Super Birds that have a Super Sonics color palette. And they pretty much home in on any enemy, or even the boss as well.
I'm gonna pretend that mushroom bounce was on purpose because it looked cool and it got me where I wanted to go.
Swag points.
Also, I just realized that my estimate is based on RTA, and it's only... My estimate is actually only 6.5 minutes over my RTA PB, so my chances of making my estimate are almost non-existent at this point. My apologies. That certainly didn't help.
Uh-oh.
So this trick is pretty easy as Sonic. With Tails, it's very finicky, and sometimes it just doesn't work for no reason. That time, I think I was a little far away. Both times, I think it was a little far away. But yeah, this is actually... Oh, that was a first frame entry. I wonder if that's going to cause me any problems down the line. I hope not. So here's the thing.
There we go.
Here's the thing about a first frame entry. When you're playing with all emeralds, it sort of messes with the emerald data in your save slot. And so I'm really hoping that I haven't screwed up my emerald data, and I'm not going to find out until halfway through Sandopolis Act 2. In fact, I actually might do a safety reset after Flying Battery just to make sure things are not screwed up. But yeah, that was perfectly normal, Flying Battery.
Oh yeah, it was as intended.
Exactly as intended. You transform into Tails doll, and then you just fly through the stage.
It's just going through the walls like, no problem at all.
Whoop. Okay, now I'm gonna try something really tricky. If it doesn't work out, then I apologize to Zaxxon and Joey and Animus. So for this, I'm gonna have to focus.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay quiet.